begun clearing the mansion, spent a day hanging out, and then went back in, killing everything you could find, including the structure itself. You did find a peculiar safe that eluded your entry, and then eventually, determining there was nothing left at the Merrick Mansion, set into town to find Lord Mern, who had visited you in the middle of the night, and you discovered he was the owner of the property, though he didn't seem to bear any responsibility for the demise of Merrick. You had found his estate by looking for the saddle down the road from the Delvanes, and you were just walking onto the property, and that is where we end it. That sound right to you?
Yes, I remember now.
All right. Well, yes. Party decided that Alar was more than sufficient to handle the conversation, and everybody is waiting in the carriages with Nibbles and Lizar for Alar to return. But the gates open wide before you, the space beyond stretching quite far. Long, low roofed structures run the length of the grounds, built broad rather than tall. The land is divided into fenced paddocks, training rings, each space laid out with a deliberate and clear purpose. The air smells of oiled leather, clean hay, and animals. You can see quite a few horses standing calm and alert throughout the grounds, some of them being instructed and trained, others just grazing. The guards didn't seem to give you any instruction, they just gestured you inside. There's workers moving through the space, speaking calmly to each other. There's a large villa in the far back and a large stable to your right as you come in, the west and north.
So the door's open.
The gate is open. You're the guard just says, "Go inside."
Right, I go inside.
Yeah, and that's what you see when you go inside. A large open space, lots of people moving around, lots of horses, a big villa, and a big stable.
Now I walked through the villa.
All right, yeah. You start heading across the grounds, and eventually you get to the villa. There's no steps or grand entrance. It's just a flat, like wide ranch style, and somebody sweeping on the steps and or the front porch sort of patio area. And he looks up when you walk towards him. Ah, can I help you?
Yes, I'm looking for Marin.
Ah, the master's in the stables.
I see. And I just turned and started walking towards the stables.
Hmm, Head over. Big doors, obvious entrance. Inside, you can see the far back wall. This looks to be a workstation of some sort. And along the wall behind it are dozens upon dozens of different saddles. But at the workstation, you can see a half elf and a familiar looking dwarf.
Well, I walk up to them.
Yeah, as you walk up, you can overhear the conversation. And that voice you recognize from last night, dwarf you've seen in the dark. This isn't about Force Sled. Horse already has a shape, so does its rider. We're all built different. If you ignore that, well, somebody pays for it later. He glances and sees you approaching and kind of steps back. And then he continues kind of instructing. Now, see here, the weight's curling. Too much pressure. Feel it after a mile. If you remove too little, it'll still be there. You remove too much, the whole saddle will shift when it matters. And he finally turns fully towards you and takes a half step. He studies your face. So, you're here and alive. I'll
Yes.
take it to
And
mean the
yes.
house won't try to eat me if I go visit.
Correct. We went through the structure and cleared out a couple of monsters and some other traps that were set. Should be all
Ah,
good to send you or your workmen in.
well, excellent. And please, just call me your Bellis, or just Bell if three syllables is too many.
All right, Rebellas. Well, if that's all, we got some more business to attend to elsewhere. Have a good day.
All right.
And I nod politely, turn, and leave.
Yeah. And after you turn, you get like two or three steps, and then you hear a slight like cough, like clearing the throat, but then it kind of goes into a little bit more of a longer cough. One more thing, says, and he waddles forward towards you, pauses for a moment, leaning on a post, and so you're obviously not ordinary mercenaries. Most people would have left after a night like that, or when I showed up, demanded coin for the job, but you didn't. So I must ask, what do you and your company call yourselves?
I suppose we would call ourselves Alar and Company.
Hmm. Well, if you're interested, I'd like to offer you a full-time position. Anything you desire is compensation. That can easily be arranged. But if you blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
I had to jump
So
a whole
who are we
bunch.
working for? Sorry.
But oh no, you're good. Currently
No
you're
one.
Who is the
just
guy talking? Who is the guy talking?
your Bellis Mirren. He's just happens to be the guy that owns the property where you guys went and killed the ghost.
Gotcha. Got it.
Yeah, he didn't hire you for the job. He heard about you
Yeah, I
guys
just had to remember.
messing up and then showed up in the middle of the night and
Yep, 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 yep. Proceed. Sorry.
nope, you're all good. Anyway, yeah, I'm offering you work full time. Anything you desire is compensation. But if you accept, understand this, it'd be working for me. Tasks, the message, the priorities, the mind is set. Well, that is all that would not be negotiable. Of course, that's only if it suits you. Wouldn't want to take anyone from work they've already chosen. Just thought I'd offer. The choice is ultimately yours.
Well, I appreciate the offer, but I'm not one who would want to sit around. Best, I think, to keep moving. Though, if you have need of our expertise in the future, feel free to reach out.
Hmm. Where is your home office for Alar and Company that I might send?
Well, that is rather what I'm getting at with our nature, is we are somewhat nomadic. We don't have a
Ah,
set home. That being
traveling
said,
companies are not uncommon.
indeed. That being said, there is magic that can send messages and the like, such as sending. So you could always use that to get in contact to let us know that you have, a job for us.
Ah, well, if that's the case, then for your journeys, the least I can offer you is something to ease your ride. And he gestures at the wall behind him. Pick one. They are meant to be used.
Okay, I just kind of look at them and I pick the one that kind of looks the healthiest. Not necessarily like the fastest or the strongest, but one that looks like it's going to last the longest.
All right. Well, as you look, I can tell you about some of the ones you see if you'd like.
By all means.
All right. You look to the wall and see dozens of saddles. Leather darkened and polished by years of handling, most of them blur together at first. Familiar shapes, practical forms, but a few do catch your eye. One is very deep brown, almost black. The surface is rather unadorned, though the hems and stitching are dark muted red. Color is precise and deliberate, providing the leather crisply enough to draw a second look. Another is much lighter. Leather is pale and smooth from oiling and use. Panels don't quite seem to mirror each other. One side just sits just a little different from the other. The imbalance is subtle enough to seem intentional rather than careless. Farther along, another saddle carries dark metal fittings. Buckles and rings absorb the light instead of reflect it. Very utilitarian in design, but it does stand out from the rest of the brighter hardware of the saddles nearby. One is severe in its simplicity. No odd straps hanging loose, no decorative cuts or tool marks in the leather. It is clean, spare, and rigid in its lines. Another has a noticeably high pommel, curve rising sharper than its neighbors, profile giving it a more compact and wide silhouette. And then there's one you notice only because it isn't pristine. A section of stitching has been replaced, but other than the difference in the color of the thread, the stitching itself newly vanishes into the original work. The saddle by far looks the most aged, though not neglected.
Okay, well that's a little bit of a misunderstanding of what I thought he was offering, but okay. I thought he
Yeah,
was
these are
offering me a
all
horse.
no, no, no. They're all saddles, is what he was gesturing at. My apologies. Yeah, he was gesturing at a wall. There are dozens of saddles, and the whole back wall of this workshop is saddles, floor to ceiling.
Gotcha. Yeah, but we were negotiating in the stable, so I thought he was like indicating like a
Ah,
bunch of horses. I'm like, pick one. I'm like, all right, I'll pick whichever one looks like it's got the most life in it. Okay. So with saddles, assuming none of them look obviously magical,
Mhm.
I would look for the oldest looking one and ask him what the story is about it.
That would be the last one that I described, the one with the replaced stitching. That
Mhm.
would be the one that you would be able to date, as it is definitely the oldest and most worn in. And he would go in and pick it off the wall and set it on a saddle rest and gesture at the stitching. This was the first saddle I ever fixed. Was my father's. He fell off his horse. The saddle was destroyed. He gave it to me when I was a boy, just a wee lad, and told me to fix it myself. I have since fixed it properly, but it was a good lesson. You see, you might not realize it, but about 700 years ago, saddles didn't have what you commonly know as a pommel. They were basically a crude, flat slap of leather across the back of a horse. My family was responsible for the pommel. And all you see here has been indirectly from that. I teach the process of saddle making. That would also be why I was there so late. I was on the other side of the world most recently. We're wondering about the arrival in the middle of the night. The sunrise is different for me.
Is he not of this world?
Hmm? No, my world has time zones.
Oh,
Yeah, like the other side of the world is quite literally the other side of the world, timescale wise as well.
well, you said the sun doesn't rise normally for me. I'm thinking,
Yeah,
fiend.
because you know he's been on the other side of the world for the last couple years. So yeah, his AM is not your AM, so the sun rises differently for him. It rises in the middle of the day for him, essentially.
Well, then I would tell him, well, if you can bear to part with it, I think I would take that one.
For somebody who cleaned up a mess I didn't even know I had, I could happily part with it.
All right. Well,
Oh, would you care to stay for breakfast? I know you were talking of leaving, but you have piqued my interest.
well, let me inform my company about what's going on, and certainly I can stay for breakfast.
Wonderful. And he, you both kind of start walking towards the stable, and he goes west towards the villa, and you start heading east towards the gate.
Yeah, and I walk out there to the party, carrying the saddle.
Hmm. It's a nice saddle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'll need to check it out before we put it on anything, but because archaeologist and caring about old things. And then I'll like turn Barnes like, so that was the saddle, really nice saddle. Was our payment for helping him with the house. He also wants to have breakfast, and I have a feeling he's going to be, you know, wanting some other either information or another deal. So if you guys just hang out here, I'll see what he wants.
Works for me.
Is anybody here proficient with leatherworkers? I don't know if you guys are or not.
I doubt it. I'm
No.
not.
Well, Connie, Ras, Samuel, do any of
No.
you guys have proficiency with leather working?
No.
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 Okay,
Nope.
just figured
I
I'd
am
ask.
proficient with killing things. That is what I am.
Well, that's the
Ah,
first
so
step to
you're-
making a leather saddle.
Yeah, you're proficient with leather harvesting. It's not leather working, but it's close. It puts the lotion on its skin or it gets the hose again. Anyway, another kind of leather. Oh yeah, yeah. You bring the saddle out. Guessing you kind of just toss it at Lizar. Find a spot for it.
I'm sorry, what?
I said you. So you bring the ladder out, or the ladder, the saddle out. We were saying leather. And I'm assuming you talk to the party, and then yep, assuming you just toss it to Lizar and say find a spot for it.
No, I'll just gently put it inside the carriage until I figure out that it's not important. I'm not going to risk damaging it.
I got you. Oh, also, when your tiny servant finished the task that you gave it, what were its instructions? Because that would have only taken about 15 minutes. I had to do the math.
What instructions did I give it? I'm sorry. I just
The
don't
safe, this dial of 8, dial of 0 to 100.
Oh.
You said to try every combination.
Yeah. Did it open?
Well, I was asking what your instructions were in the case of it opening or not opening.
If it opened, it was supposed to stop. If it didn't
Mhm.
open and it reached all the combinations, it would also stop.
All right, and it would just stop. It wouldn't continue doing anything else in both cases.
Correct.
It wouldn't try to contact you or anything.
Correct.
Okay.
When
Well-
the spell ends, I'll just check the safe manually. Either way.
Gotcha. Okay. Then nothing happens and you go inside. Shadowless. Yeah, we head across the villa, and there's a younger girl, probably about 16 or 17. Looks like a half elf. Standing by the door. Looks like she's waiting for you. When you get to her, are you the one that's joining Masterman with us for breakfast?
Yes.
Well, right this way. And she, leads you inside, down a hall, into a rather simple but large dining room. There's a wide open room with a pair of tables, both about 20 feet long, with benches around it. And the one thing you do notice is there is no head of a table. And you can see Yabellis, sorry, sitting at, one of the benches. Looks like he has half a dozen, dwarven children gathered around him, and a dwarven woman just beyond that. Not all the tables are in use. Not both of the tables are in use. Just that there's a spread of food across in front of them. Breads, cheeses, sweets.
All right, and he's sitting where? Sorry, I didn't quite understand.
Yeah.
the
Okay.
description.
So imagine long tables with benches.
Mhm.
But there's no chair sitting at any of the heads of table, and he's just sitting on one of the benches on the side. And he's got half a dozen dwarven kids, all varying ages between what you'd guess would be 5 and 20, and then a dwarven woman, probably about his age,
Is
give or
this
take a decade.
usual customs for these people?
From what you know of most nobility, no. This is very unusual. He's not struck you as a normal noble.
Mm-hmm. Well, I walk over to the table that he's sitting at. Is there room for me to sit there?
Yeah, as you walk over, he gestures and he goes, join us. And he gestures at the, benches across from him, where there's several different sizes of plates and whatever you could possibly want to eat for breakfasty-ish foods in a medieval setting. It's not it's not exotic or exaberant or like what's the word? Excessive.
Okay.
That's the one thing it's not. It's not excessive. I mean, there seems like there's enough food here for everybody sitting at the table and not a bunch of extras.
Right. Well, I sit down and start helping myself to a, modest breakfast, thanking him for the invitation.
Yes, yes. So, I must, only because you you are genuinely fascinating compared to most of the mercenary companies I hire, I must again insist and hope that you might work for me.
We prefer not to be tied down to one particular place and one particular boss.
Eh, that is fair. Then, think no more of it. Regale me. What interesting monsters did you take on in this property I've owned for stops and thinks a quarter of my life, and I've never set foot on besides last night.
Okay.
And when he says that, all the kids kind of settle down in their chairs and their eyes light up.
Ah. Well, I begin, a description of the house as we approached it, the rain falling, the phenomena inside, ghosts and the like, and eventually we, you know, through that made our way to the office. I gloss over the details about what happened between when we encountered a psychic phenomenon getting to the office a bit. Uh,
Yeah, you might want to skip out the intentional compromisation of structural integrity of the guy that owns the property. That's a good idea.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, some time passes and the the kids are all, kind of bouncing and giddy and excited by your tale, and then he asks, "So, was there anything else?" Sorry, I'm walking around letting my dog in. If I sound out of breath, it's because I am, because I'm fat. All right, I'm back at my desk. Sorry about that.
No worries. And I say, well, other than the ghosts, the traps, the animated furniture monsters, psychic phenomena, no, that was really all the hostile, interesting stuff we encountered.
Ah, well, wonderful, wonderful. I will. I'll have to inspect the place myself. Though it sounds like it seemed to be being held by sheer will and collapsed. I will most likely rebuild from scratch.
Well, from what I've seen of it, that would probably be a preferable to trying to shore it up. It was not in the greatest of shapes once the spirit's will stopped holding it up.
Well, I thank you for your time. I do hope my insistence wasn't insulting, but finding somebody of you and your company's caliber is rare. So I figured, why not double down?
And all it cost you was a little bit of time and some breakfast. I'm certainly not insulted. As I said, if you have something that you think would interest us, especially given our um, specialty, let's call it, in the exotic and the eldritch, you know, give us a sending. We'll definitely consider it.
Yes, my Master of Coin was familiar with that. I had to ask. I'm not too versed in the arcane, but he does know of some people in the city that can use that spell. He lingers on the word spell when he says it.
Not a fan of magic, I take it.
Oh, I find it intriguing, but as you know, it's a vast world and much of it is unknown. So, what one wizard knows, another may call folly.
Fair enough.
Now, children, to your studies. And the kids all get up and a couple of them kind of linger like they want to ask questions, but they respect their father and get up and leave. And then he looks at there's still a little bit of food on the table, and he looks over to the door. Could you get a basket from the kitchen for me and put all this in it? And the servant just nods and disappears. A few moments go by and comes back, and the servant puts all of the what's left on the table intact in a very nice basket with like a silk cloth, and wraps it up, and then he he hands it to you and he says, for the rest of your company.
Well, I'm sure they will appreciate
Yeah. It's about 10 days worth of rations.
it. Okay.
I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back.
But yeah, it's bread and cheese and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not roadworthy, but you figured, the 10 days worth of rations will last, until you consume it, as long as you eat it first.
Yeah. I mean, with 5 of us, that's 2 days, so
Hmm.
he'll probably be fine.
Yeah, the bread won't quite start molding by then.
Yeah. Well, I bid him a farewell and make my escape.
Yeah. And you start heading for the door, go outside, and it's the same as before. Reasonably large amount of activity, but it's a pretty reasonably sized property, so it tracks. Plus, this guy makes saddles, and you can kind of see now why it was all laid out. A lot of it is like saddle testing. It's not so much for the horses. The horses all seem to be pretty well mannered. Yeah,
Okay.
you get back out to the carriages. Party's all there.
All right. Well, he wanted us to. I'm talking to the party here. It's like, as we,
Mhm.
going, he wanted us to work for him.
All right, I'm back.
On kind of like a permanent basis. I think he wanted us to act This is like a personal hit squad or something.
Ah. I mean, I can see why.
I can see why you'd want us in that capacity as well, but not really what we do.
No, it doesn't. But makes sense though. So yeah.
Yeah. So maybe in the future we'll hear from him if he's got a specific task in mind. But other than that, he gave us some food. A
Food's
traveling
good.
gift. Yeah.
But yeah, enough time has passed that your unseen servant has dispelled.
Yeah. And as we get going down the street towards the other noble, I'll note that. But in the middle of town doesn't seem like the best place to deal with this. So we'll just keep it under wraps for now.
Just leave the sheet over it.
Yes. And we
But
make our way
yes.
to the first guy's house.
Yeah, the Delvane.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ride back to the Delvane estate. Familiar stretch of Westwater Street. And the same guards are leaning lazily in front of the gate. And one glances up and squints at you. Ah, you're back.
We are.
Did you fetch the master's sweets this time? Another snorts a dry laugh. And they bang on the gate. Open up! The gate's open with a double scrape. Inside, courtyard is quiet. Gardener trimming hedges, a stable hand moving between the stalls. The fountain stands dry, but the ivy clinging to it is cleaned up. And you can see Elsie coming down out the door. She stops on the stairs as you guys' carriages ride up. And she inclines her head politely. Right this way.
All right. I think we're all heading in on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. If nobody opposes, you guys all go inside.
I am Jack. No.
All right,
Okay.
Samuel, you wait in the cart with Lizar.
That's all right.
Yeah, you guys all go in. And she goes down the hall and up the stairs just like before. But unlike before, the double doors of the office stand open. Papers neatly stacked, the windows are open, light streaming in from the mid-morning sun. Still a slight look of worry on her face, but it seems a lot more relaxed now. I do hope you can find your way. She kind of just gestures down the hall towards the double doors, and she starts heading back behind you guys down the stairs.
Yeah. And we just head to the office to see about I wrote his name down. Ervin.
Yeah. Lord Irvin is behind his desk. He's writing something. And when he sees you, he stands up. And his first words are a bit quick, almost desperate, but not quite. Did you recover it?
Yes.
He lets out a long breath. Good. That's relief. Ledger, been in my family for generations now. And it's important to the dealings of our trade.
I'm sure it is, as I hand it over to him. It also explains why that particular ghost decided to torment you.
Yes, I've done a little bit of my own research the last day, as when you left, the voice left with you. And it was a quiet relief, but of course, curiosity sought me, and I asked a few questions here, and now certain things do click into place. For example, the untimely deaths of both my father and my grandfather, both which seemed like accidents, both in the presence of the ledger.
Indeed. Especially true given how the earliest entries in the ledger detail, the fact that it was the Merrick family's ledger at the beginning.
He, did you handed him the ledger? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have a look of a little bit of surprise on his face when you say that, and he actually opens the ledger and then starts turning to the left, like back further into the beginning of it, and he goes, "Oh, I never looked at these pages."
Uh, is he lying? Can I get an insight check?
Go ahead and make an insight check. As far as you can tell, he's being genuinely honest. Like, the DC was low. He was being genuinely honest.
Mm-hmm.
He just never turned that far back in the book. So yeah, the shock and dismay on his face is genuine as he's thumbing through these, and he eventually finds the point where it changes from Merrick family to Delvain family, and that's still a decent chunk of pages before where all of his entries are. Then all I can do is thank you and try to do better than those who came before me. I intend to honor what was lost, to guide what remains wisely, and perhaps avoid the missteps that haunted my predecessors. Your intervention has allowed me a chance at that. For this, I am forever grateful.
And then that will just leave us with the matter of payment.
Hmm. What payment is there that could sufficiently cover what you have done for me?
Well, two thoughts come to mind. I am, by my nature, someone who likes looking into the past, hence why I read the first pages of that ledger upon finding it. Old,
Understandable.
old relics, old ruins, these are things that interest me greatly. If you happen to have any ancient relics, especially those from before, they call it the fall? I think is
The
what
collapse.
the collapse. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially pre-collapse relics or knowledge of pre-collapse ruins that your family might have encountered in their trades. That for me would be more than enough.
And
Failing that,
sits.
oh, I said failing that,
Yeah.
simple
Mhm.
coin or bar would suffice.
And he sits and ponders what you're asking for a moment. I don't know of any pre-collapse runes, though I do know of a couple lapse ones, or post-collapse and fracture runes. So that'd be the roughly 2,000 years that are post-collapse, pre-unity.
Okay.
Yeah, it's never been established exactly how long because of the broken calendars, hence why it's called the fractured eras. But it's 2,000 ish, give or take 500 years.
Right. Yeah. And as he says
So,
it, I nod somewhat encouragingly, like, okay, that works.
and where there is a military structure. It's called the Three Keeps on Flazela. I don't remember the name of the kingdom it's in, but I do know it is about a week's ride south of Brindar. Brindar is a large trading port, kind of like Genth, but smaller.
You
Genth
said
is the biggest
3
one.
weeks south of Brendar?
Yeah, 3 weeks ride south of Brindar. It's called the Three Keeps or the Three Peaks, and it is often referred to as a military practice because of the structure's strangeness. I remember seeing it as a boy, and it is peculiar. Three towers with all of their windows facing inward on a hill. Though the walls and such around the structure itself are all completely gone. Some say that you can find ghosts there. Others say that there's a secret fortune hidden beneath it. Though that is not much of a payment, at least in my eyes. So please take this, and he slides off a signet ring and hands it to you, down to my master of coin, and he'll give you 2,000 gold pieces for your time.
Well, that is certainly adequate. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Likewise.
And then I turn and leave.
Yeah, head back downstairs. I'm assuming you go down and talk to the master of coin. You know where his office
Yep.
is.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. You go. The door's closed but ajar. You hear what sounds like somebody talking to themselves.
Does the jar ring of coin when I shake it?
No, but Samuel does.
Ah.
Yeah, but he doesn't shake me though.
I mean, all you got to do is walk around, and you sound like Mr. Moneybags. But yeah, door slightly ajar. You hear mumbling inside.
Yeah, I just knock politely on the door.
Ah, come in, come in.
I push it open and walk in.
No, not you lot. What do you want? He visibly slides back from his desk, like he's trying to make space between you and him.
Oh, I walk right up to his desk and just place the signet ring.
I got no weird paper, do you?
Not this time, as I place the signet ring like right smack dab in the middle of whatever he has for a blotter. Our mission was accomplished, and we are here to collect payment.
How much did he say?
2,000 gold.
I'll give you twice that to never see you again. And he gets up and he walks over to a safe and he grabs out 2 bars and he hands them to you for your troubles and for his. And he kind of just nods at the ceiling. He usually underpays the work anyway. But he's holding out 2,000 platinum bars.
Okay. I accept the bars and wish him a good day, and then I leave. Unless he tries to stop me.
Nope. He seems like it's in his best interest and your best interest that you leave his office.
It might be in his best interest. I doubt there's anything he can do to me.
Well, especially us.
Yeah, the whole party's there was, and he is essentially a bureaucrat. What is he going to do?
I mean, we can always get him to throw money at us. I mean, that's the best option.
He just did. He just gave us 2,000 platinum.
Yeah. Throw more money.
Oh, sorry, 4,000 platinum.
Yeah, he paid you extra because he said the boss usually is a fucking cheapskate.
And he's like, please don't come back.
Yep.
What happens if we come back?
I would ask you to leave and then call for the guard if you don't. And we really don't want that.
No, yeah, we want to keep him throwing money on us, not the guard. That doesn't work out.
Besides, I've got a piece of paper we can hand the guards.
Which piece of paper?
Well, I said that aloud when he talks about calling
Oh,
the guards.
oh,
I
oh,
jokingly
gotcha.
say I've got a piece of paper that I can give the guards.
The piece of paper says, "I have a bomb."
No, the piece of paper is the one that was driving them all mad with.
Oh yeah,
The psychic paper, yeah, the cursed confetti. And when you say that, he visibly recoils and he says, "Please, I don't want any trouble. Just
It was a
just
jest.
be on your way." He's
Calm yourself,
visibly
my
getting
friend.
more
It was
stressed.
just a jest. It was only a jest. We are on our way out.
Oh. You guys ever had a Red Bull?
What was that? I did not understand a word.
I said, have you guys ever had a Red Bull, but really fast?
I
from
have
Yes
had
Man?
a Red Bull. It was not good. They just don't taste good.
I don't
Speak
like
for
the flavor of
yourself.
Red Bull.
I love Red Bulls.
I like the flavored Red Bulls, but yeah, just regular Red Bull, bleh, no.
I'll be honest, I have never had an energy drink I liked.
Monster.
I was gonna say the 0 sugar flavored monsters are actually like they don't taste like energy drink. It's one of the
I
reasons
have
I
never
drink them.
needed an energy drink.
But yeah, if you guys eventually give up harassing this poor dwarf who's just trying to do his job,
Give us what we want.
He did.
He
He
did.
paid us.
he paid you twice what the boss was gonna pay you.
Oh well, then
He paid us 20 times what the boss is going to pay us. He paid us in platinum.
No. The platinum bars are worth 2,000 gold pieces.
Oh, that's not what you said. You said they were
Those-
2,000 platinum worth of bars. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
2,000 gold worth of
We
platinum.
in
The
the money?
certified, yeah, the certified platinum bars. The ones
That's
that
a big
have a
difference.
set gold. Yeah, the ones that have a set gold value, but weigh much less than regular platinum.
Right.
because this world runs on coin, and well, you can't be handling tens of thousands of pounds of platinum stuff. So I had to figure out a workaround for that. Anyway, but no, yeah, he only paid you 4,000 gold pieces worth
Right.
of certified platinum.
I've adjusted the party ledger.
Good thing we caught that.
Ah,
I mean, I would have noticed.
yeah. Like, why is the party going to my world's Vegas? Like, this is weird.
I mean,
Well,
I'll be honest,
which
that
one?
would not have been a massive amount. Like, we already have 7,000 platinum worth of stuff.
Yes, I'm well aware of how much coin you have, and I hope it's becoming a little bit more clear as the funding in my world is a little different than a standard medieval setting.
But it is funny.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, you guys finish up your harassment of poor coin keeper. Get back into your carriages. Now it's about midday, and this is a rather nice city. What would you guys like to do?
So, when we were doing the initial talk with the guy, and we asked about like rivals and enemies, he did mention, I didn't write it down, but he did mention like a family that he basically that was like his competitors. They were losing ships.
Oh, the I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
I'd like to go call on
I don't have
that
the name off the
family.
top of my head. Oh, all right.
I'll ask around town for him by name because he did tell us their name. So
yeah. And you ask around a bit, and you're currently on Westwater, and you find out that the family in question is on the other side of town. Mind you, this is a big
Perfect.
town, even though it's full of nobles. You really haven't seen any slums. You haven't seen any low-income housing or worker establishments. You've seen a couple of nicer pubs and really, really fancy inns, but as for like common folk, you actually haven't seen anything of the sort. There's no bakeries, there's no blacksmiths. It's just a bunch of really, really fancy houses.
okay, so it's a useless town full of useless nobles. Got it.
Mhm.
But they pay well, so
Indeed. Hey,
How-
let me pull up
how
those.
they manage to get their bread and grain, not really my problem. And since I don't think we pass any walls on the way in here, it's not like they can militarily resist all that much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, militarily, it seems like all of these individual houses are walled and have their own guards. But there does not seem to be a, common core of military or police force. There are no guards patrolling the streets. They're just patrolling all of these houses.
Right. It's disorganized. There's no central authority,
Indeed.
which
Hang on,
works
let me go
to
back to-
people like us advantage.
All right. Okay. Ba-da-da-da-da-dum. All right. You were asking about the shipping guys.
Yeah, the people who were competitors to the Dalmains.
The Sunwax.
All right, let's go whack some suns.
All right.
Oh, sun whack. I think you said sun whack.
I heard Sun Wax.
Yeah.
Sun wax. Hey, that
And then-
actually would be bad.
Also, you would remember, just in case it's relevant to your course of action, the Master of Coin had mentioned the Hall of Records, which seems to be about the only like central authority in this entire place.
Yeah, it's not relevant here.
All right.
That was when we were doing recon on the building and thought we might need it.
But yeah, the Sunwex, they have a manor similar to the Delvanes. Walls, iron gate. Their crest is, where is my crests? Ah, there it is. Is a anvil with a sun over it. But yeah,
Okay.
you find it easy enough. It takes you, another hour or two of kind of wandering around based on the information that you've talked to random couriers and people that seem to have more important things to do than talk to strangers on the street. But eventually you do find the place. And this is a fieldstone wall. It's about 8 feet tall. You can see a reasonably nice, like Victorian villa on the other side of the wall. Yeah, pair of guards at the gate and ride up.
Yeah, I just walk right up to the guards.
Uh, can I help you?
Perhaps. I'm an adventurer named Alar. I gesture behind me to the carriage and comment, this is my company. We've come into possession of something that might interest the Sunwex. If they're willing to receive us, we can discuss the item and terms. If not, that's perfectly understandable. We'll be on our way.
And he kind of just raises an eyebrow. And he looks over at the guard next to him. Is the Lord in? And the guard next to him looks back, shrugs. I don't know. I just get paid to stand here. And the guard looks back at you. One moment. Let me see if she's in.
I nod.
And he turns to the gate. Hey, well, go fetch somebody from the house. Another guard comes up to the gate. I don't care if there's a mouse. No, go fetch somebody from the house. Oh. And he turns and, jogs to the house. Guard turns back, does the awkward smile. Just kind of just stand there waiting.
Yeah, I just stand there in front of this guard and this gate.
A few minutes go by. Guard that ran off comes back with somebody in tow. It's a well kempt, very nice silvery long hair elf. Hello. What can I do for you?
Well, we've come into possession of something that might interest the Sunwex, and I've come to see about negotiating the Sunwex purchasing it from me.
Purchase? What are you selling?
Something that would be best talked about in detail away from the public.
Well, the Lord is away on business. Believe she said she was going to Genth for trade talks with the Merchant Council. But in her absence, I can discuss most things. So please come in. And he just gestures at somebody to the side, and then two people come over and open the gate, pulling it in.
Thank you. And we go in.
Yeah. And inside is, nice 2-story villa, pretty reasonably spread out on the property, and another very similar setup of a servants' quarters building and a stable. Not quite a cookie cutter to the Delvanes, but like this one doesn't have a fountain. Yeah. He starts heading inside, kind of standing at the door, waiting for whatever you guys are planning on doing. So is everybody in the carriages coming in, or is it just Alar going in?
I'm going with Alar.
I mean, if you guys don't want to come, that's fine. But otherwise, I was just assuming we were all entering the compound and would be proceeding as a group. I can do it alone if you guys prefer me to as well. I don't really care. I seriously doubt the noble's going to attack me in his own home.
Well, you never know. That's fine. I'm going with you.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, I'll stay with you.
All right, cool. We all go.
Everybody
Just
rides
assume I'm
in.
always going with you.
Everybody rides in, and yeah, the elf that seems to be in charge gestures for you guys to follow him into the home. And he goes along a hallway on the first floor and into a study with a couple of like half a dozen nice leather chairs, some seating space for everybody in the party. And he looks at you, Alar, and is like, would you guys like some tea, coffee, or maybe some brandy?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
I mean, I'll take some brandy.
All right. And he goes to a servant that's standing by the door. Oh, fetch
Sounds
some
like a
brandy
fine
and some
girl.
glasses. Yeah, the servant goes off, and he stands there for a moment, and then turns to you, Alar, once again, and says, "So, what is this that you cannot discuss on the street?"
And that's when I pull out one of the 2 copies of the ledger I made. And I say as I pull this out, is my understanding that you and the Delvanes are somewhat competitors in certain markets. And as part of our presence here, I came across a copy of his ledger detailing his business dealings and such that might offer you a bit of a competitive advantage to at least know what he is doing. Perhaps not in the future, as it is not updating, but in the recent past, which might, given the delays of travel and all that, allow you to capitalize on it to make a tidy profit.
I see. And may I? Well, I don't intend on memorizing the whole thing, but could I at least see it for validation? I do understand what you're implying, and it would not be something that the Lord would be opposed to purchasing from you.
Indeed. And so I pull it out and I turn it to not the most recent entries, but like 2 pages back, so that
Mhm.
in context it would be useful, but just the snapshot, even if he does memorize it, it wouldn't actually be all that useful.
Yeah, you go to
Without the
like something that's
chain.
like maybe a
Without
yeah.
the chain going back from the present day. But enough to verify that I have stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, basically you're just showing him like, you have information that's relevant to the last year to 6 months of trade deals. And yeah, and when you do that, he looks at it, goes, yeah, yeah, that's in the records, that's in the Hall of Records. Yeah, that's in the Hall of Records. Well, I would need to contact the Lord before I could confirm what she would think this is worth, but it's definitely worth something to her. How long will you guys be in town?
Well, we were planning on perhaps spending the night and then heading out in the morning.
Well,
As I'm sure you can tell from our dress and manner that this is not exactly the type of town we tend to linger in.
the carriage is deceptive, but the outfits are not.
The armor does tend to give it away, yes.
Well, mm, there are plenty of fine establishments you could find yourselves at for the night, and in the morning I will find you and inform you if I've heard back from her.
Very well. In the morning, then.
But yeah, he nods and he's, oh, I do apologize. I'm the head of household at Tormil.
Well, Matt Hormel, as I said, I'm Alar, Soler, Connie, Samuel, Rost.
Yeah, and he nods. And the servant had come back and given you all brandy in
Yeah, thank you.
glasses, and then stood there with the brandy in her hand. And every time you guys would get close to the bottom of your glass, she'd come over and fill it back up. Like no
I
empty
try not
glasses
to
kind
abuse
of
that.
mentality. Well, I appreciate you bringing this to our attention and hope that you find your stay in Tubzil enjoyable. And he kind of looks at Connie when he says that with a slightly raised eyebrow.
Oh, honey, I'm too expensive for you.
Oh, you'd be surprised. He says with a slight smile.
I mean, he has a person who has the bourbon on tap right there. He has money.
Well,
All these
as
people
far
have
as you could
money.
tell, this guy is not of the Sunwick family. He is one of their employees. Like he's not a Sunwick. He said he's the head of household. That's
Mhm.
basically the butler. But these butlers have a lot more power than your normal butlers.
And what is it you think you could do for me?
Well, I could open your eyes and show you what a real traveling courtesan can do. But I could just also let you
I
explore the
can
city
show
and
you
find out for
the
yourself.
world.
Shining, shimmering, splendid.
Yeah, there's magic carpets around here somewhere. All right.
That's kind of what he's implying. Connie, you're in a city full of nobles. You saying he couldn't afford you is something he hears on a regular basis.
That's cute.
But yeah, chit chat for a little bit more. he asked about the road, what you guys have been traveling and up to. You know, kind of comes across as the guy that's familiar with mercenaries and, knows the right questions, but doesn't probe too deeply as to imply he actually cares. Just a pleasant small talk guy.
Right. Yeah, and we finish up with a little bit of small talk. Thank him for his time in the brandy, and look forward to his communication in the morning. And then we leave.
Yeah, you guys head back out through the gate into the city.
All right, and I suppose since it is already midday and this is a big city, we head for probably the closest inn to this house.
Yeah, and yeah, your tour around town trying to find the Sunwick home. You did see half a dozen different inns. They're all pretty centrally located. There's the Gilded Griffin, the Sapphire Lantern, the Silver Quill, the Crowned Heart, and the Amber Lily. They're all ones that are reasonably close by because they're all kind of about the same distance.
Connie's doing Connie things if we're picking an inn.
Ah, well, there's also taverns.
Which one is closest
Which-
to a tavern that Connie would be able to work out of?
Um, you remember the Silver Quill was right across the street from the Whispering Stag. The Whispering Stag had curtains.
Well, there we go.
I got something else that whispers.
Queef doesn't count. Well, we know what Connie's going to get up to. You guys have about a quarter of the day left between all your venturing and breakfasting and conversing and tormenting.
Well, does this place have parking for the carriages and the carts?
Yes. The Silver Quill has underground parking.
Okay.
And then there is a second, so there's a staircase to go up to the main, to get a room, and then there's another staircase that goes up the backside of the structure to all of the different floors. It's a 5-story building.
Right. Well, after we, get our rooms, we park our carriages and our carts in the basement. And how, after doing that, how unoccupied is the basement currently?
There's just one guy kind of standing by the entry ramp, and he's looking up and out. So if you were standing by your carriage, nobody would be seeing you.
Okay.
Yeah. And Nibbles seems to be contently napping in the carriage.
Right. Well, I am first going to cast See Invisibility. Take a look around, see if there's people or things like sensors that are invisible.
None that you detect.
All right, and I'll do a detect magic ritual, seeing if there's any magic about.
You well, the detect magic ritual takes a little bit longer, and the guy at the ramp does look your way, but he doesn't seem to stop you or come towards you at all. He just kind of turns his back and takes a few steps up the ramp a little bit.
Away
Whatever
from the
you're doing, he
weirdo.
wants no part of.
Excellent. freaking out the city full of nobles just by casting detect magic all the time.
Yes. But your ritual goes off, and you walk around, and I'm assuming you try to do as thorough a sweep as you can of the entire understructure.
Yeah, with particularly just making sure that there's nothing trained on us in the cart and blah blah blah.
Yeah. As
Excellent.
far as you can tell, nothing.
Okay. Then I, unpack the cart a little bit, pull up the curtain, and take a look at the safe and check and see if it's unlocked.
It is not.
Nuts.
If you had the homunculus start on like 1 and 0, 1 on the 8 dial and 0 on the 100 dial, it is now on 8 and 100 and went through every single as you had instructed it.
Right. Okay, so it's not just a simple simplex lock. There might actually be a combination.
Indeed. Also, something of note that is important that I did not mention correctly. When you made your Thieves' Tool investigation check to determine, the mechanics and what you could do with the lock itself, that DC 30 that I told you was because you were doing an intelligence Thieves' Tools check. That is also an intelligence Thieves' Tool check to unlock it. It is not a dexterity check. This requires knowledge and, that sort of attack. To clarify. It was in my notes. I just breezed over the int part. Like, your check was high enough to tell you this thing is stupid in a smart way.
Right.
So I just wanted to clarify that because I did forget to mention that last time. That is my fault. But now that we're actually taking the time to play with the safe, but yeah, you detect magic. You're clean and clear. The safe is locked.
Okay. I reconceal the safe.
All right. You just throwing your sheet back over top of it in the carriage.
Sheet, and then we had probably like a couple of kegs of water and some other random traveling supplies that we kept. Like, this is our supply wagon.
Well, you have 2 carriages and a wagon.
Right. And we have a lot of stuff that we're carrying along with us, including some barrels of water and the like. Things that you would normally have for a group our size traveling a long distance.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just replace all the supplies because I'm assuming the safe is, from your description, relatively big and flat and thin, so we would kind of put it at the bottom of the wagon and put everything else on top of it.
It is 6 by 12 by 12.
Right. Feet, I believe you said.
Inches.
Okay, so it's not as big as I thought it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, still, so it's at the bottom of the cart, underneath all the regular supplies. So
You got
casual
it
inspection of the
tucked.
cart just makes it look like it's a normal traveling supply cart done for logistics.
Yeah.
We might even have a barrel of rum in there.
Maybe 2. Oh, I broke.
Pretty sure Jack drank one of them.
Pretty sure Jack drank all of them and then took the rest. He didn't tell you. But anyway.
Yeah, we have 6 barrels of water, 9 barrels of grog.
Grog.
It's long-term safer.
Indeed. But yeah, you're able to, conceal it very easily. You have enough stuff to pile around it that even a reasonable in-depth search of your wagon without tearing it apart wouldn't reveal the safe.
Right. That's all I wanted. I just didn't, want anything that's like it's an empty cart, except for this weird square thing in the bottom that's covered in a sheet.
I pull back the sheet.
And Nibbles is napping under it and attacked. Right. Anyway, then we go to the end. And that was basically all I'm going to do, and then the rest is just, scroll work.
Yeah. You spend the last well, you used up a little bit of time, so we'll say an eighth of a day you have for scroll work.
Yeah. Yeah, and like also probably checking maps and the like that I have and figuring out where this ruin Delvane mentioned is.
Yeah.
The Three Keeps.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of good reference material for the entirety of the continent of Blazela. It's pretty far away from you, and you've spent most of your life on the continent of Kshatriya. So you're familiar with the continent of Oran and Blazela as in terms of existence and major cities. So you know where Brindar is roughly on the coast. But as for you'd be able to figure out kind of roughly where he's talking, but yeah, you don't have anything that references which kingdom it's in or anything like that. It's something you'd have to probably go there to figure out.
Yeah.
Or ask somebody who's been there.
Eh.
But
That's
as
what
for
I
the
do.
rest of you, what else do you guys get up to? Alaric? Do you have any plans for the evening?
Probably just chilling with Nibbles there. Otherwise, that's really about it.
Well, Nibble stays in the
I would also
carriage.
like to chill with Nibbles.
Yeah, Nibble stays in the carriage, and he doesn't seem to actually want to leave. Like when you guys try to coax him to the rooms, he just kind of
I'm not trying to cook
Um,
him. I'm just fine chilling in the carriage.
I mean, wait,
Yeah.
let's see. Is there do you think any place here could get anything silvered?
From what you've seen, probably one of the families might be a smithing family and have prestige and money and, have their own blacksmiths on call. But there was
Get
no like public blacksmith shop 101.
Okay. Because I want to
If you
find
would
one of
like, I mean,
those.
you have from the time that you guys got to the inn, the Silver Quill, you guys do have a quarter of a day. So if you'd like to wander around looking, I can have some rolls made and see if you find anybody.
Sure.
All right. Well, go ahead and give me a persuasion as you talk to people and an investigation as you
Persuasion and
look around, and then an insight to see what you determine. So,
Oh,
persuasion,
my caps lock is on.
investigation, and insight.
Oh, so here's my persuasion first.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's not that great. All right.
Yeah. Some people spend a few moments talking to you, but then, you're like, they kind of look down at you like you're, a commoner.
What if I, put a couple gold pieces, like a bag of gold pieces, kind of just like, oh, I'm just looking for somewhere to spend some cash.
How much are you spending?
Mm. How much we have in the bag, by the way?
A lot.
Okay, I have 115 personally on me, but
Like if you came to me and said, "Hey, I need some spending around money for whatever reason," it's really just a question of how much do you need.
yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how much a silver weapon would be.
Oh,
To silver weapon. Yeah, it costs 100 gold pieces.
Oh yeah,
That includes
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, and then isn't it like a day?
Yeah.
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 Okay, yeah, I can give.
I've
yeah,
got
we have
no, I've
100
got
gold.
115 on me. No, I've got 115 on me. It's all right.
Okay.
But you were asking for bribe money. And I was
Oh,
asking how much bribe money you were asking for.
I mean, I got 10 gold.
So you're gonna use your 10 gold. Well, go ahead and roll another d20, as that will give you an advantage on the persuasion.
We got so much gold. I don't care. What the fuck?
Yeah, okay, 15. So go ahead and roll your investigation.
Oh, this is a shitty one. Of course, I do really well on that one.
Yeah, decent. And then roll insight.
Insight. What's my insight score? There it is. Yeah.
And you talk to a couple people, and at first you kind of get turned down a little bit here and there, and then you're talking to one guy, and it's a little halfling. He goes, "Oh, Get your weapon silvered? Well,
Yes.
let's go over to the Lamara's.
Perfect.
They
Yes.
probably have a
Given
smith or two on call. It's sort of their trade.
then I will go there. Thank you, sir. And I pass him 5 gold pieces for his help.
No, that cost you all 10.
Oh, all 10? Fine.
Yep.
I didn't care. I don't. They have
that
so
was
much
that was
money,
how
I
much
could-
you
I could
were
throw
adding to the
gold
roll
around.
as a bribe. That cost you the 10 to even get that information.
I didn't care about that 10. Yeah, sure. Then I ask him where directions for it, and I start heading over there.
And yeah, he tells you to just, look for the anvil and the sword. And there's a 4-pointed star, and you start looking around for that crest. And it's getting later in the evening. It's taken you quite a while to get there, but you do find it. And there's a pair of dwarfs standing quite rigidly at attention at a pretty modestly small gate compared to a lot of these other houses. This gate is about wide enough for a carriage to get through, and not a whole lot else. But you can see the crest that you were instructed to look for on the center of the gate.
I walk in, find someone who can help me.
Well, it's a gate with 2 guards standing in front of it.
Never
So,
mind.
um,
I ask
are
the
you sure
guard.
you want to try walking in?
I fly over the gate.
Then you find out this family is actually experts in crossbow making.
No, I ask the guards. You guys have a blacksmith around who can help me
Well,
out?
what's in it for me?
I give him 5 gold.
He looks at your hand with the 5 gold in it, and he laughs. You must be new in town. You call that a bribe?
Well, definitely new, but just looking for a blacksmith to go do some work for me. How hard could that be?
Well, kid, if you
Kid?
can't tell, you're an Azamar. He's a dwarf.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
You're
I was
human
like, wait a minute.
adjacent. He's definitely old.
Yeah, never mind.
But yeah, he doesn't say kid as in like he thinks he's older than you. He says kid as in like you're inexperienced.
Mm.
Well, kid, I'll tell you, walking around in this town at this hour asking for a blacksmith is more than likely to get you thrown out. So you come back in the morning with a slightly better attitude.
I didn't even
Maybe we
know,
can
to be
see
honest,
about
I
it.
didn't know it was nighttime.
Yeah, you had a quarter of a day left, and it was closing on late evening when you finally got to this place.
All right, then I'll be back in the morning. I just be like, all right, thanks, old man. Then I fly off.
You get your bearing, and you eventually make your way back to the inn. And by the way, this is a nice inn. This is 10 gold a head to stay here, and you all get your own rooms. Though you can get an adjoining suite if you'd like. That would cost you an extra 10 gold a person.
Yeah, separate rooms is fine.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, you get back to the inn, and I'm assuming Alar gave you, your room key, so you know where to
Yeah.
go.
I also go ask Daddy Alar for another 100 gold.
Sure. Here.
As backup money.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. Awesome.
The party is well funded, so yes, we can spare 100 gold.
You have acquired a reasonable amount of coin.
Papa, I need money, Papa.
Yeah. And Samuel, Connie, I am going to get to you. I'm saving you for last.
You're fine.
You're the most
Ah,
fun
what?
anyway. What would you like to do with your remaining quarter of a day in a city full of rich pricks? You've got room and board.
Proselytize.
All right. You proselytize. Go ahead and give me a persuasion and an insight as you find a spot that's reasonably trafficked near the center of town, that there's individuals going by at a consistent rate. And you set up your milk crate and you start preaching the good word of the Lord Samuel.
What do you want? Perception.
Persuasion and insight.
Okay.
How
Okay.
well you speak and how well you observe.
Join me or get the laser eye, damn it.
That is my persuasion.
All right, go ahead and give me an insight.
That is my
Yeah.
insight.
You have a couple individuals that stop and spend, a couple minutes talking back and forth with you, asking why you oppose the Wheel of the 13, why you're a god, and it's questions that you're kind of used to because, well, you're an interesting individual. You tend to stand out doing this sort of thing. And you you think you made an influence on a couple of individuals that you talked with.
Cool.
But yeah, able to retire to your room, sleeping well, knowing that you are, in fact, the god. All right, Connie, you make your way over to the Whispering Stag. Jake, you here? You're muted if you didn't know.
My apologies.
No, you're all good. But yeah, you start your way into the Whispering Stag, and you find out exactly what that elf was talking about. There are dozens of ladies of the night in here. So I'm gonna need from you persuasion, performance, and insight for your checks as you try to find a client for the evening.
What were your first?
Persuasion,
Okay. Performance
performance,
and what?
insight.
Okay. In that order.
All right. Yeah. You have a couple of conversations with individuals sitting alone, and nothing really, says you're going home with them. And kind of reaching the end of the night, like you're getting to the point where it's like, if I don't go home with somebody right now, I'm just going back to the hotel. Fuck this shit. It has been a long afternoon for you. But an older dwarf waves you over and he seems familiar with you, but doesn't really elaborate or explain. And he goes, "Ah, you're here as usual. Excellent. The same rate, I would imagine."
Sorry, my wife walked in. What's up?
I said there's a older dwarf that seemed very interested in you as you were like basically getting to the point of giving up for the evening, and he said, "The usual rate."
Usual. I'm not usual.
Yeah. Well, I know that.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. So he takes your hand and goes outside, and there's a carriage parking area, sort of. Brings you to the carriage, and he's flirty and touchy and exactly what you'd expect from this sort of clientele. And he takes you back to, a very similar to all of the houses that you've seen so far. And you go in. The mansions are nice, but typical for the city. And you go in and entertain him for the evening. And you sleep there. Morning comes. You have all successfully had a long rest.
Cool.
Connie,
Yes.
you wake up and well, the dwarf invites you to breakfast. He hands you two parcels. One, you can tell, is a bag of coin. The other is a wax sealed envelope. He says, "Make sure it gets in the right hands. We can't have the same mistakes as last time." And he, starts gesturing for you to go to the door and turns around and goes to another room, leaving you standing there by the front door with this wax sealed envelope and a pretty hefty bag of money.
Okay. I've obviously met this guy before.
Um, Go ahead and give me a history or an insight check to see if you remember this guy.
Inside it is. Oh, I definitely remember him.
You do not. You have no idea who the hell this guy is.
Oh, sweet.
But he was most certainly familiar with you, or at least as far as you could tell. Oh, was that insight or history?
Insight.
That was insight? All right. From what you could tell, the guy seemed a bit senile.
Okay. All right. Well then, well, history would just give me a different answer to that question, so never mind.
Yeah, it would basically be the same answer to that question in a different form. But yeah, he didn't seem to have any issue leaving this parcel and this bag of coin in your hand.
Okay.
Do you look in the bag of coin?
Yeah, why not?
All right. It is 50 platinum pieces, 500 gold.
Ooh,
It's the most you've ever made in a single night.
love it. Um, this is a wax sealed envelope, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Is it colored wax?
Yeah, it's a like a standard wax seal. The emblem embossed in it is looks like an olive branch.
Does it look like I could potentially replicate it if I want to open this now and read it to see what the fuck is going on?
No. That's kind of how wax seals work.
Well, I open it to see what the fuck is going on.
All right, you in the house, you just break the wax seal.
No. I'm gonna wait till I get
Okay.
back to the party.
Oh, okay.
Like, look, this old guy that I fucked.
Oh yeah, there was fucking. He was surprisingly spry for an old dwarf.
Not proud of it, but you know,
Money's money.
I got to get my shot somehow in the big city.
Talent.
All right. But yeah, you were with the party. You know where they are, so you're able to find them again.
Crack that bitch open.
All right. Who is doing the cracking?
Me.
So you're gonna just, you get to the party and you show them the parcel and you just crack the seal.
I'm like, fuck it. Yeah.
All right.
Ugh.
You break the seal. The parcel contains a set of folded documents authorizing an authorization contract, a matching cargo release order, and a ledger style addendum listing items and quantities.
Hmm.
Together, these documents state the following: a shipment of hardwoods and processed lumber, valued at roughly 50,000 gold pieces, is to be released from a bonded warehouse in Redland and transferred to custodial ownership of House Badrick. Documents claim that House Badrick already paid for this inbound shipment months ago, but the original paperwork was misfiled, so this packet serves as the corrected replacement paperwork.
Yeah, and they just misfiled it by handing it to Connie instead.
So it would seem.
Be right back.
Oh, how do I do the thingy?
Well,
I
after
know there's a way to make.
you paste
Okay.
the text and then you highlight it, and then they'll pop
Ah.
a little bunch of options will pop up, including make it a message or make it a quote. I mean,
Let me do that again so it's fancy. I always forget that. I can never figure out how to do that. I highlight it and it does not pop up. I clicked it, click Control A.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I'll kind of just ask the party, do they know anything about this house? The House of Broderick or whatever the fuck?
Badrick.
Badrick.
I just do that so my name's not tied into it. Well, the party wants to make history checks to see if they recognize that house name.
I'm sorry, what type of check?
History.
I'm terrible
I'll
at
fucking
history.
all right. Count me the fuck in. I don't.
Rast is licking the wallpaper. These schnozberries taste like
seems old.
schnozberries.
Strawberries.
But hey, Laura, that's high enough. You recognize this is you've heard the name. They're not a massive trade family or anything like that, but they are a old trade family, and they do general bulk trade. They don't seem to specialize in anything. They just move lots of things around.
Okay.
But that's all you really get.
Okay.
And back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Right. So basically this is like a shipping company that gave you the shipping documents instead of, the house you're supposed to go to.
I see.
So what do you want to do with it?
Uh, I want to go get some wood. As Connie gives you a little subtle wink.
Okay, you want to go to Redland and accept the shipment of 50,000 gold worth of processed wood.
No, I want to go to the house.
You want to go back to where you got the paperwork from?
No, I want to go to the house of Bodrick or Bodrick or the thing
That's
that I'm
where
still
you were.
That's him.
Yes. It would appear he gave you documents that looked to be
Where is it
replacement
supposed to be
documents.
delivered to?
Redland, it's a city that's about 6 weeks away from here.
That's where I pick. Where's the wood?
To be released from a bonded warehouse in Redland. The wood sounds like it's in Redland.
And then it goes back to that guy.
Transferred to custodial ownership of House Patrick. Yes.
Well, then I ignore it.
All right.
Be a fun little prank that I'll keep doing over and over again.
All right. Oh, well, what would the rest of you like to do with your morning? Rast, I do believe you were looking for some stuff. Nate? You here? Nathaniel? All right.
Doesn't sound like it.
Then, where is that? 28. So you guys, spend your morning, get your breakfast. Connie shows up with all this paperwork, and then a half hour goes by to after you'd woken up, gotten your breakfast, and you're getting yourselves ready to get back on the road. And the courier arrives, and he's talks to the front desk, says he has a message for Alar, and you guys are kind of sitting in that regional area, so you overhear.
Wait, I have a question.
Mhm.
So, do people purchase contracts?
Um, not exactly. This looks more like a existing contract that is saying that the ownership of this wood in this warehouse is the Balrics
Yeah, but
or Badricks.
hypothetically, could I sell this job to someone for a smaller price for them to then turn around and make more off of it for themselves?
No. What you're holding is basically documentation that says this wood belongs to X.
Got it.
Yeah, you're basically holding ownership papers of the shipment. That's what
All
those
right.
pieces of papers are.
All right. Well, I'll just keep it in my pocket. You
All right.
never know when I'll need some ownership of some wood.
Well, you're not holding the piece of paper that says you're the owner. You're holding a piece of paper that says the House of Badrick is the owner.
Yeah, but I could be the House of Badrick.
Yes, the long line of dwarvens.
I was adopted.
Indeed. Actually, no, that is legitimately a thing in my setting. There is old coin and or there's old blood and new coin. New coin is a lot of basically the lord or the the highest ranking noble didn't like his heir, basically didn't like his own kid, so he gave it to somebody competent in his company. And those are the new coin because they're not traditional noble lineage. They are new coin. They're not old blood. And
I
this has
could decide
caused some issues.
if we guys wanted to go very far away and we needed to build a boat. We got options, gentlemen.
Yes, I suppose we do.
But yeah, you're all sitting around in the common area where the front desk is, and Alar, you overhear this courier saying he's looking for somebody named Alar.
I make myself known.
Yeah. Comes over to you, and he just looks at you and says, "I was told to say, turn for the conclusion of the deal." And he just nods and walks away.
Okay. I'm sorry. The first part of it got mangled by Discord.
He
Return?
said to return
Okay.
for the
Yep.
conclusion of the deal.
Yep. All right. Well, guys, unless you got something else you do in town, I think we're heading over to that manor.
Rast, are you back? God damn it, Nate.
Yeah, I'm
Siri?
back. I'm back.
All right, you spend your morning, I'm assuming, returning to that house,
Yep.
and you find a different pair of dwarves standing at the gate.
Yep. I walk up to him and say, hello, sir. Is there anyone in this house that could silver a weapon for me? Given my profession, it would come in handy.
And
I heard this
One
was the
dwarf.
house that could possibly do it for
He
coin.
looks up at you. He looks over at the other guy. Ah, that sucks. I bet in the pool you wouldn't come back. So thanks. I'm out a week's wages.
Can I ask how much was that? Because man, I should have brought. If I would have known, I definitely would have gotten you a win there, Chief.
week's wages here is 10 silver a head.
That's fair. Wish I would have known. Sorry, I made you lose your bet. Now, where
That's
can
all right.
I spend some coin?
Well, I believe the original premise of your inquiry was to see about somebody silvering a weapon.
Yes.
We have some of the best blacksmiths in the city. So, for a small fee, I could let you in to talk to them. The other guard
Absolutely.
chuckles.
That's fine.
Do
What
you
is
know
a
how
small
much 10
fee?
silver is? I'm just curious.
10 silver per head.
No, yeah, 10 silver, like their a week's wages here is 10 silver. That's about
Huh?
1 gold.
So he wants
So
1 gold.
no, no, I'm letting you know they make a gold a week to stand guard.
I know. Okay, so what's his wage? What's he want?
Anything. He doesn't
I'm
want
letting you
anything.
know. I'm letting you know that a week's wages is 10 silver, which is approximately, it's 1 gold. It's 10 to 1. So
Oh, he wants
if you're
7
looking
gold.
to, yeah, say if you're looking to bribe, that's why the one chuckled at 5 silver. That's 5 weeks of work. That's a decent amount of money, but
Oh, he
they get
said he
that for
lost a
standing around.
week's worth of wage. So I was like, I'll just pay
Yeah.
your wage.
And he
You
chuckles.
guys swindle harder for money than the poor places.
I mean, you're in a city full of rich pricks.
You know,
Money flows.
Fair enough. I don't
So,
hate that reasoning.
yeah.
All right. Well, I tossed the man 7 gold and said, well, looks like you didn't lose nothing.
Well, what about my friend here? And he nods at the other guard.
Said, is your friend handing me information?
Well, he's in front of the same gate.
Touche. I had him 7 gold as well. 14 gold.
what?
They
Money
nod.
flows, and I got plenty of it.
Yeah. Well, the guys on the other side are the ones that actually open the gate. We just stand on this side, so
Uh,
they need something too.
before I pull my wings out and fly over this damn gate,
Looks like there's 2 more guards on the other side, looking at you expectantly.
they also want gold.
It would appear so.
Christ. All right, but since they're not sitting here talking to me in front of the gate, they get only 5.
Well, that seems fair. Looks like everything here is in order. And
So
the
24
one that
gold
you're
they
talking to the most, he nods. The 2 guys on the inside open the gate.
get.
You have yourself a fine day, and may the wheel be with you.
You too, sir. And then I walk in. I'm gonna look for a blacksmith.
Yeah, you can clearly hear the ring of a couple of different anvils.
Yep.
Looks like it's coming
Wherever
from
I gotta go.
about 50, 70 feet inside the gate. There's a small blacksmithing forge with 3 dwarves working it.
I get a hold of one of them.
Hi, you're the lad from last night.
Lo and
That's a
behold,
week each. The other 2 grumble a little bit. Well, what you want silvered?
my warhammer would be nice.
Ooh, warhammer. Proper
I do.
warrior's weapon.
I do like the way it cracks against some skulls.
Well, it cost you 100 for the silver in, and 100 for my time. I do have other things that I'm working on.
It's 200 just to do it?
It seems like it is here.
Seriously? This is the shittiest city I've ever seen.
Let me say it really slowly. City full of rich assholes.
Yeah, but they got plenty of fucking money. What do they need more for?
How do you think they have so much money?
They
Okay.
give it away all to me.
Payment now or payment after it's done? Ideally, payment after it's done.
Well,
I gotta make
suppose
sure I
we
get
could
my
do-
weapon here.
Well, you can do half up front and half after the work's done.
Deal.
Have it to you by the end of the day.
Absolutely. I'm okay with that. Make sure I don't get scammed or anything, but I know you wouldn't. Just, I've been a few places that very much would love to do so.
Aye, world's full of interesting scoundrels. He takes your hammer and he starts looking at it, kind of holding his hand up and measuring it with his thumb. Yeah, I'd have the silver in about 6 hours.
Excellent. Let's get
You
it
want
done
me
then.
to deliver it somewhere? Or would you like to come back and get it?
I'll have to pay that fucking guard at the front gate. Yeah, I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to make an insight check to know you probably have to pay the guard again to get back inside.
Yeah. What's the best place? Just off topic.
Your party is currently staying at the Silver Quill.
Okay, so I just have him do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He nods.
Well,
I know it.
I'll be there
Well,
with my company and pick it up then.
have yourself a fine day. I'll get to work on this right away.
See you in 6 hours. And then I walk out. Fly over the wall and go back.
Yeah. The guards give you a very mean mug look when you fly over the wall.
I give him
Because
a
you're pretty
wink.
sure they would have did the same thing to let you out if you didn't fly over the wall, but they can't do anything to stop you.
Yeah, I give him a wink and just shrug.
Yeah, you make your way back to the inn and you find the party is getting ready to go.
Okay, I asked father to give me give me some gold to cover the rest. I didn't bring 24 gold for some reason.
Aylar,
Just hand me,
he's draining
just
your
hand me another 100. Just hand me another 100. I promise I'll pay back.
Okay.
All right, sweet. These damn people in here. I hate this city. Let's get out of here as soon as possible.
Yeah, you make your way back to House Sunwick. They're expecting you. Tormiel is waiting at the door, welcomes you inside, takes you back to the same room, and asks, like, tea or coffee, or possibly some brandy.
Oh, tea would be lovely.
Turns to the servant, go get some tea.
I would also like tea. I've not won my battle yet to have a good, nice glass of brandy.
But
Before I break it
That's-
down, no, I'm just kidding.
I received word from the courier this morning. The Lord is very interested in the ledger, and she's willing to give you 5,000 gold pieces in trade.
Okay. How about 8?
Good roll persuasion. And he nods at your counter offer, and well, the most I'm authorized to come up to is 6, as the information is only as useful as its most recent entry. and the longer we debate, the less valuable the book becomes.
Fair enough. 6,000 gold it is then.
And he walks out of the room, and the same servant from the day before comes in with a tray and tea glasses for everybody. And she starts pouring tea, and there's milk and sugar. You guys are alone in this room. It's a reasonably sized room. It's about 20 by 15. There's, half a dozen or so chairs. They're rather comfortable, tables in between them. No books or anything like that. About 20 minutes goes by. And Cormiel comes back in and goes to you, Alar. And, well, I apologize for the inconvenience. I do not have any, at least that much quantity of certified platinum, but I do have gems if that's appropriate.
Oh, gems are tradable. That works.
Yeah. Oh, very well. And he gives you one 2,000 gold piece certified platinum, and then 4,000 in mixed gems. Although notably, none of them are diamond. It appears to be sapphires and emeralds of mixed sizes, nothing greater than 100 gold pieces.
Okay. And I hand over the ledger, and I thank him for the tea, which I've probably finished at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And say that it has been a pleasure to do business with you.
Yeah.
Good day.
If you come across anything else of a trade nature, well, most certainly find it valuable, at least in the right hands.
And I just look at Connie, raise an eyebrow. And then say, well, we'll keep an eye out.
Well, have the room as long as you like. I'm sure you can see yourself out. If you get lost, you could ask anybody here how to exit. It was a straight hallway to the exit.
Yes, I get the joke. Alar gives the polite chuckle.
And he nods and leaves the room, leaving you guys to your own muses.
Mm-hmm. And I guess if anyone hasn't finished their tea, we finish the tea and then leave.
Yeah. But yes, you eventually find your way back outside into your carriages and back onto the street.
Right.
Morning is crisp. Early autumn is setting in the region.
All right, is any reason to stay in town, guys, or we good to go?
Is there any reason the party needs to stay in town, Rast? Or is the party good to go?
Oh yeah, I have a weapon coming in.
A weapon coming in.
Yes.
What did you order? I mean,
An airstrike.
for 200 gold, what did you order?
Tactical nuke. Something to make it easier to purge the unholy.
You ordered a silver trebuchet?
If that was allowed, I probably would have done that. I didn't think that was an option.
It is, but the setup time is atrocious.
I mean,
The next time we come up against a cursed house, though.
yeah,
True. Very true.
And those nobles will think twice about just rolling up on us while we're doing it.
Just give me half a day to set it up. Just give me half a day to set it up.
Yes, I have a silvered weapon coming in. It'll be delivered here. So if we can wait around for a little couple hours, we'll be good to go.
Oh, just a couple hours? Yeah, sure.
All right.
We have to wait.
What would you like to do with your downtime then, Samuel, if you're excited about waiting?
I'll do the same thing.
All right, go ahead and give me another persuasion and insight. As you find that similar busy corner. and
I am
start
growing
preaching.
the Church of Samuel.
Yes. Do my bidding for me. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're growing the Church of Samuel. So, yep. Persuasion and then insight. Yeah, the morning crowd is a lot tougher than the evening crowd.
And they
Um,
they don't care there. Yo, we don't believe that shit. Get out of here, yo, room bastard.
Yeah, you do get like it's a decent crowd, so you didn't see where it came from, but you do get hit by one stray tomato, and you're not sure who even had a tomato because all of these guys are carrying like parcels and packages and paperwork. But other than that, your morning is rather uneventful. Midday rolls around.
I was gonna see if Samuel would respond in kind.
Well, you don't know where it came from, so that's the problem. The crowd was too dense. You have a rough idea, but from that direction, there was probably about 50 people. It's just a bunch of couriers running around. But midday comes around, in the early afternoon. Orvin, clearly not a noble, comes to the front of the inn, sees you guys all kind of just hanging out on the street, playing jacks, and comes up to you, Ras, and he goes, "So, all we have left is a matter of payment."
I
You see
pay
it
the
in
man.
his face after he gets hit by the tomato.
But yeah, you can see, he clearly has your warhammer. It's wrapped up in some rather nice silk.
Okay, I pay the man.
Yeah, he hands it to you. You hand him the coin.
So- Thank you for your business, sir.
Indeed.
This will be a lot more effective now.
Yes, I seen the hammer was quite rudimentary, so I did add some flourish for you. Figured to match the armor.
Yes.
Have a good day. And he nods his head at you, and he walks off,
Nice. Excellent.
leaving you with your silk wrapped warhammer.
I look at it. Can you describe this warhammer to me?
All right. Yeah, you unwrap the warhammer. The head on both sides and both faces are now adorned with a wheel of the 13 to match your armor. And the
Excellent.
handle itself, you're looking at it. It is embedded with sapphires, pearls, and
Oh, it's
emeralds.
fancy as shit too.
You would estimate that this hammer is probably worth about 250 gold pieces right now.
Excellent.
So you paid a lot for it, but you got it back in value if you ever wanted to sell the hammer. But yeah, you're definitely matching set now.
See,
It's not just
he puts the wheel on something he used to kill. It is a hammer. It is used for killing, and he is ordaining it in decoration. That's what the wheel makes you do.
It is merely the messenger to the wrath of those unholy who refuse to follow the path. A final reminder
I make my own path.
You
I
have
do
no
not
followers
need
because
no
you
one else
have
to
no
point
symbol.
the way for me. I make the way.
Okay, well, are you ready to go now? I couldn't think of anything after that. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, Samuel, he thinks he's won the argument, so he's walking.
Yeah.
You know, walking.
I
in
couldn't
front.
think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah. You guys arrange your carriages in your wagon. Lysar on the lead carriage. And the rest are, and he had informed you when he had first come across you and you guys had all three or both carriages tied together with all the horses out front that he says like this is terribly inefficient. So your guys' horses and carriages have been since then running as individual wagon teams instead of one massive 180-foot long monstrosity. It has made navigating inside of cities a little easier.
I'm gonna have to hire guards to help guard the place.
Yes, this
Armor up.
party of particularly interesting individuals definitely needs
one of
mercenary companies.
We're gonna armor up a couple of our wagons, put some ballistas on the top. Portable.
You do have a
tanks.
ballista.
I know. We can mount one on the top of one of our wagons, and then when we get to another town, we can armor it up.
Dirigibles.
Yes. Oh no! If they give us the ability to fly, it's over. That's all I need. That's all Samuel's waiting on is the ability to fly. He's one of the few characters in the party that can't fly.
Well, actually, the non-flying party members are the majority, just so you know.
Yeah.
No.
The minority of the party is the flying. The all two of them that can fly,
That's
including your
racist.
cleric buddy.
I know. Yes, but see, he's got wings. He was born. His mother spread her legs for one of the guns. That's why he can fly. Oh, sorry. Sorry. He's an Asimar, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's
Asimar's. Yeah,
that's
Asimar's.
Samuel's thinking of it, yes.
Asimars, like tieflings, are not considered incredibly special, except for like devout religious individuals. Which even then, tieflings aren't considered, like the spawn of devils. Tieflings are still just anomalies. But Asimars, in the religious aspect, tend to get a little bit more attention. Tieflings are strange, yes, but Asimars are, oh, they're
Well,
a gift,
when
the
a
gift of
human
the
lays
gods.
with a demon or
Nope.
a celestial, not in your world?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
They are an anomaly, typically born to
Oh.
humans.
Oh, okay.
Like Alar has two human parents. Rast has two human parents.
Genetic mutation? Ooh.
They're something.
Gives me an idea.
But anyway, you guys set back out on the road again.
On the road again.
After spending several days in the lovely city of Tubzel. Yeah. The road carries you out of Tubzel without ceremony. The stone of the city's roads give way to packed earth. And then, as the last low buildings and outlying storehouses fall behind, the trees press in for a day. Then the land opens up, and after about a week of travel, you find yourself back on the cobble road. 80 feet across, just as it always is. The limestone road, smooth by centuries of travel. Warm reds and dull yellows. Doesn't shine, it doesn't shift, it simply exists. and you continue your journey west towards the city of Redlin, your destination. Caravans pass you regularly once you get back to the Copper Road. Wagons heavy with goods, axles creaking, canvases pulled tight, each one guarded.
I hear that song in my head. Fuck. I'm old.
Not ostentatiously, not aggressively, but definitely deliberate. Some caravans have a dozen, others have many more, but all are armed and escorting them. Different caravans have different merchant houses. Some you recognize from your travels around inside of Tubzil as different trade families. And then the mercenary companies, you see the occasional, you know, banner for them. Some are wielding them proud, others are less noticeable, but still there. A crest on an armor, a banner on a horse. But they seem to be watching the road, paying attention to you for a little bit as you cross paths, but otherwise leaving you alone. One thing you do note, unlike the Republic, none of them stop to talk. Just a nod, a short greeting. But in the Republic, you often had conversations with the caravans and gossip, and here, none. Conversation stays within the caravan. No one waves you down. None ask where you're heading. People are moving with purpose, keeping their pace and to themselves. As the days pass, the pattern settles in. Long, quiet stretches, broken by the creak of wagon and hooves on stone. You don't see much wildlife, as the terrain around you is sparse and barren. The occasional fox darting from bush to bush, a hawk distant overhead. Total of a week and a half goes by before something interesting even happens. Late into the evening, you guys are traveling along on the Copper Road, clippity clop, cloppity clip, and you can see a lone figure approaching from the opposite direction. Well, individual who definitely appears to be traveling light. A weathered coat, loot slung across his back, boots dusted, the same copper red as the road beneath you. He slows as you near, coming to a stop at a respectful distance away. Waits for you guys to kind of get closer to him. Eyes pass over the horses and the carriages and the wagon. He turns, starts walking alongside. Huh, that's a fair bit of road presence for folks without a banner. Most people like to advertise what they are. Merchants do, mercenaries too. Make things simple for everybody involved. He shifts the loot on his shoulder and gestures back the way you came, the direction you're heading. It's been a quiet stretch of roads otherwise. You guys making camp soon? Mind if I join you? For safety.
I don't mind. When he mentioned the banners, though, were all those other caravans we passed on the way having like banners and flags and the like? The way
Not
he
so much
mentioned it?
like, not like don't think like military banner with like a stick and a flag on it. Although some mercenary companies did have that, but a majority of like the caravans and stuff like that, they all have a mark, like whether it's on their clothing, their cloak, the side of their wagon. Everything had some sort of marking that you could use as a way to trace, if you wanted to find that particular caravan, you could because of that. Like you could ask around and say, "Hey, you recognize this symbol? What city would I go to look for it?" That kind of thing. So not like military banners, 20-foot tall poles with a big flag on it. More so, just everybody has some sort of marking on them.
Okay.
Yeah, and some of the caravans and the mercenaries bore the same mark. Those usually are trade houses, and then other ones were kind of a mixed. Like you've seen a couple that were multiple mercenary companies and a trade caravan. And it's a pretty common practice in the world that the the most amount of road traveling is not under any particular nation's control or protection. Wedlamar is probably one of the few exceptions or exclusions to that particularity, as they do have a standing army that patrols the road. Most other places in the world do not, which is why banditry is a very common practice for making money. You knock over a caravan, sell the goods somewhere else, you reap the profit, somebody else is the sucker. Well, yeah, this is something that all of your characters would be familiar with, is everybody has a banner if they're in a company of some sort. It might not be an ostentatious flag, but they typically have some marking to represent who they work for or work with.
We need to make one that just has like bars of platinum on it.
Nah, we just point to nibbles. We're the company with nibbles.
It's the flag with two very large horse teeth.
You want to put horse incisors on your banner?
Horse teeth and devil horns.
What?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah, I'm sorry.
getting tired.
You're gonna have to explain that a little bit. I'm kind of curious what you're going for. Why horse teeth? Like, don't get me wrong, they're wicked cool because they're weird.
I don't know. I'm getting sleepy.
You're trying to
So-
work at the nibbles thing.
So when that guy says all of that, you know, when he comes and asks us to do all of that, I'm gonna pull something from Gilbert's page, and I'm gonna incite him.
All right, go ahead and make an insight check. What are you inciting? What are you curious about his words?
He
that you're...
just seemed way too friendly and way too hey that for my liking. Anybody who's that friendly for no good reason probably got some shady shit going on. I mean, that's just me in my experience.
Yeah, no, I get it. So go ahead and roll insight.
Especially when he walks up on a caravan as big as ours. It's
As big as yours with so few people. Keep that in mind.
right. We have several wagons, but only a handful of guys. you
Yeah.
know.
Go ahead and roll me your insight, as your curiosity
Have
about
good-
this guy is insatiable and your gut needs a dice roll.
I don't know much,
No,
but
you
my
you get the
insight's not
vibe
good,
that
but still.
yeah, you get the vibe that this guy kind of he strikes you as a little down on his luck. His clothes are a little worn. Not so much that he's suspicious in a way. It's more so that if he approached one of those other caravans or mercenary companies, they'd probably turn him away. You guys don't have anything that indicates you would turn him away, so he's taking a shot in the dark by asking if he can,
Because
sup
we don't
with you
have a
guys.
banner or nothing identifying.
Yeah,
us
you-
as
you-
I
you-
got you.
You guys are the outlier in this conversation, so he's like, well, maybe these guys will, let me sleep with them, so I don't have to worry about getting killed by bandits in the night.
Yeah, we're the nerd table when he's been turned away from the job. Gotcha.
Yep, exactly.
I knew there was something off about him. He was entirely too friendly.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys, you find a nice open patch with not a lot of shrubbery to start making your camp. Shrubbery? And, you're eyeballing this guy, Samuel, And then the wind moves grass past the road. Then you hear his stomach betray him with a low, unmistakable churn. And he winces and he kind of looks at you, Samuel. Ah, right. That'd be me. Rations ran thin a town back. But if you got food to spare, I could pay proper. Song, story, whatever suits. No offense taken either way.
No problem, sir. We've all experienced those moments. We're going to accept him into the camp. I don't know if I agree. Said that, but I agree.
While Alar, Samuel says this guy's all right.
Good enough for me.
He sits down, tunes his lute, and he starts playing a song, telling tales of the. And this is a song you guys are familiar with. It's the last great battle. About 400 years ago was the last major like land war conflict on the continent of Kshatriya, and it was between the kingdom of Wedlamar and I don't have the other nation's name. Um, but they used to occupy the territory from Redland to where you guys are now, and this battle basically rendered them inert. And one of the reasons the Badlands is known as the Badlands is because a lot of people died here, and nobody really wanted to set up any cities or anything like that because there's not a whole lot out here. It's shrubland. There's no ore, there's no resources, there's no rivers. It's just a couple 100 miles of nothing along the Copper Road. No one knows why the Copper Road goes through here like this, but it runs straight and true and it's pretty good for trade, so everybody uses it. But, as he sings, the music is competent, familiar. It's the sort of tune that's meant to pass the time. It's one everybody's familiar with. And between verses, he chit chats and starts naming towns that he's passed through over the last few weeks. Dry little places clinging to wells or crossroads. One where the ale's honest, but the beds are hard. Another where the wine's watered and the prices aren't so bad. He says, Badlands live up to their name. Sparse ground, hardy folk. Who died?
He's dead, Jim.
It would appear Connie
This
has
is dead,
disappeared.
Jim. Well, he was saying he was tired. It's okay. It's about closing time anyway. Sparse grounds, hardy folk. Road's the only thing keeping most of them breathing.
Yeah, well.
Are you guys willing to part with some rations for him?
Yeah.
Of course, he will become a loyal follower.
Well, I'm definitely willing to part with some rations. Samuel, I'll leave convincing him to follow us to your department.
And Samuel, you spend some time over the evening meal convincing him of your renown, and he nods along and chuckles and says, "Ah, the road is my home. There is no god or king out here. No council bothers coming out this far. Just a connection between all the cities. Tubzel spends all of its time bickering and counting coin, and Ghent is too far away. And, well, they don't want to go anywhere near Tubzel, but you can't fault them for that. But that doesn't mean lawless, mind you, just not officially managed. Silvercloak keeps things orderly along this stretch. Smart bandits don't work his territory, and the dumb ones, well, they don't last. Chuckles. Never heard him bother an honest caravan. Seems for folks who can afford the inconvenience. And as you guys settle in for the night, conversation continues, and that's where we will call it.
All right.
Excellent.